Attention all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. With us is Tidal McCoy. Well, former United States Assistant Secretary of the Air Force. And, Ty, so many things are happening, and there's so many moving parts. Where the heck are we?
Well, John, it's great to be with you. Great to join the show. Tremendous show to get the word out on so many topics of importance. And I think where we are now, that's bubbling up across the board everywhere in the world, it's making it difficult for people to just adapt and understand what the strategy is on their own side, particularly on the United States side, is that the technology is advancing and accelerating. It's not just going at a high velocity, but it's accelerating. It also, the technology that's coming up from everywhere, including AI, quantum, cyber, space, and other things, biotechnology, drones, is that it's easier to discover new technology. The metrics and the things that you can use to discover new technology, they're accelerating. The technology to proliferate the technology to send that advancing technology more quickly out to the rest of the world is accelerating over things like the internet, theft, and so forth. The technology ability to absorb technology and on a mass scale, such as in Ukraine with drones and so forth, that's also very, very strong. So things are moving to absorb, discover, and move things forward so quickly that it's upsetting what had previously been normal calculations of plus and minus and power and so forth. A lot of that technology is being misused. There's a lot of theft. There's a lot of disinformation. There's a lot of danger as it accelerates. And technology now is almost considered more vital as an asset, a national asset, in some cases more important than land, water, food, people, money, weapons, fuel, housing. It's really become such a critical component as a vital crown jewel of national power and national survival. And as Darwin, the famous Darwinian philosopher and scientist, said, the species that can best adapt will be the one that survives. So those nations that can adopt and adapt this very rapid acceleration of technology, understand it on a mass scale, will be the ones that can perhaps survive. As we see now, the two main contending groups in the world, the axis of China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. China wants Taiwan, Russia wants Ukraine, Iran wants Israel destroyed, and us probably, and taking over the Middle East, and North Korea wants to take over South Korea. And they're very aligned. They're very aligned on their side on that. Our side, between NATO, the U.S., and other countries, are not so aligned. We're bickering. We're having problems with each other. People are not supporting each other back and forth and understanding that they need to support each other. So we have the technology, the freedom, and the economic power, but the bad guys have the strong ideology and dedication to that technology and ideology, and they have central control. And they are very powerful, even though we're more powerful in many ways. Those components give them a lot of power that they're very able to orchestrate against us. So over time, it's really come down to who has the understanding that there is a fight on, and who has the will to fight and the will to win and the will to sacrifice for that will be determinative of which side is going to hold sway in the world and dominate the geopolitics in favor of either hostile forces or in terms of forces of the free world.
Tell us, you've been around for a while. You were Assistant Secretary of the Air Force since the 1980s with Ronald Reagan. Tell us, are you disappointed what's going on with NATO?
Yes, I am. I think that they've taken a very selfish approach. They've taken a very narrow approach to their own interests. Their own interests have to be aligned with the United States because we have been the guarantor of their freedom. We have tens of thousands of Americans buried in cemeteries all across Europe that were buried there after World War I and World War II that sacrificed themselves. In the country, we sacrificed a lot of our domestic efforts and our economy to keep those countries free. And we have supported trillions of dollars in NATO to keep the Soviet Union from taking him over. I myself served in the Fulda Gap with my nuclear weapons in 1967, facing the Soviet armed forces and the Czech Republic, Warsaw Pact forces at that time, prepared to shoot, prepared to die, prepared to lay waste to the invading forces, and that kept the Soviets at bay. So NATO has forgotten a lot of that, and they've become very soft and very self-serving. They can't even have a decent energy policy to protect themselves. They can't seem to do anything, and as a result, they're reacting to us as though we're the bogeymen of the world, and we're the ones that are causing problems, when in fact it's their own weakness and their own inability to recognize that they have greater interests than just what happens to be occurring right next to their border, which in this case is Ukraine. We've helped them in Ukraine. We have worked with them closely to prevent the Russians taking over that country and dominating more of Europe. And when we needed their help, they were nowhere to be found. And I think there's going to be a very hard day of reckoning coming to them for that. That is sad, because to the degree that NATO and the United States are not working together, then that creates a real chasm and a real weakness on our side. We need to try to remedy that. I'm not sure how we do, because we can't boss those 32 countries in the EU around and the 28 countries in NATO. But we're just, President Trump is trying to wake them up and doing everything he can to make them recognize that they need to cooperate to protect the larger free world. So I think it's going to take some more strong language and strong efforts by the president and the U.S. to wake them up, to wake them from a slumber of many, many years.
Well, Ty McCoy, thank you for the update, and let's pray for America. And I'm very disappointed in NATO, and let's talk again real soon.
We will. Thank you, John. God bless you and the good work you're doing.